Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is another commentary video, but this one's a bit different. So today, this is not airsoft gameplay that I'm going to be commentating on. This is actually going to be a video which someone sent me, and actually I hadn't heard about it or known about it, but apparently it's gone a bit viral. It's been made by the Royal Marines, which is obviously the Marines in the UK, not the US Marines, and they've made kind of like a short video. So this one is, I'll show you here quickly what it looks like. But this one is, it's called Raid, and it is like a 9-minute video. Yeah, 8 minute 59. So this, I think, is kind of like a recruiting video. However, it's obviously a longer form. It's not just your 30-second, like join the Marines, join the Royal Marines video, but it is kind of like a longer form one. And it has, if we look here, 1 million views in 2 months, which is a lot. Royal Marines have 226,000 subscribers, so it's a lot of subscribers. But for like a military kind of channel, you'd probably expect that. But 1 million views in 2 months for this kind of thing is crazy. So I'm quite excited to watch this. I think it's going to be interesting. It's obviously not airsoft based, but I thought it was kind of like relevant to an airsoft channel for sure. Just to give you a bit of background, so I've never been in the forces, so my knowledge about this kind of thing is going to be very limited. So if I'm saying stupid stuff, please don't put it against me. This is just my like outsider's perspective. However, I was actually a Royal Marines cadet when I was younger, so between the ages of 12 and 18. So I go twice a week for a few hours, obviously doing drills. We would do 2-day operations, things, but it was all like, you know, effectively teenagers doing it. So it wasn't real and proper. We actually had a national competition called the Pringle Trophy that we won twice, which I really, really loved. But we went to Lympstone, where the Royal Marines graduate or become actual Marines themselves. And it's like one of their main bases. It is their main base. So I kind of had some experience with the Marines themselves, obviously never been in combat, but absolutely love the Royal Marines. If you're in the US, the Royal Marines are not like a separate force. They're actually part of the Royal Navy. So they're basically kind of like the soldiers, the amphibious assault soldiers that are part of the Royal Navy. It is a very, very high level of service. So you have the Parachute Regiment, which is part of the Army, and the Royal Marines, which are part of the Navy, and they're kind of like, maybe not like, they're not as high as the SAS in terms of specialization, in terms of what it takes to get in there. But in terms of like the standard Navy, standard Army, they're almost seen as a bit of a cut above. Obviously, if I'm not correct in this and you're in the UK forces, definitely correct me, put it in the comments down below. But they are very selective on who they take. It takes a lot in terms of the actual process to become a Royal Marine. And so that's kind of like your bit of your background. They're very small forces. They have like 3 different 4-2, 4-5, and 3-9 commando, the 3 different regiments that you can be part of. And they are maybe not like Navy SEALs level, but I know that a lot of US forces, or guys that I know have spoken to them and been in combat with them, are always incredibly impressed. So I'm very excited for this video. Sorry for waffling on. Let's begin, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are.
Free mics. Pack 1 has visual on target. Time to intercept. Free mics. Pack 1 has visual on target. Travel bearing 160 degrees.
So already the cinematography on this is amazing.
Horseshoe recce complete. Boat 1 running in. Port side. Line astern.
Okay, so this is something actually when someone sent this to me, 4-2 Commando, so that's one of the units there. 4-2 Commando, so this says SIG MCX. Normally the Commandos were always issued L85, whether that was kind of like different variants of it over the last like 20 years. But that's what I used, that's what I trained with when I was a Royal Marine Cadet. And I think the SIG MCX has now been announced that it is going to be the Royal Marines' new primary assault rifle. So that's quite interesting that they're showing that there. I think it might be along the 5.56 Spear LT level, but I'm not 100% sure. Glock 19, everyone uses a Glock 19, but I love this layout, how they have gone through and they've actually like put, basically, it kind of feels a little bit like Call of Duty. You know, this is a recruitment video, so actually kind of like laying it out in terms of information and not just having like some random stuff. I'm already loving it.
Walk to me! Walk to me! Walk to me! Step back! Step back!
Zero, there's a Kilo 1 Alpha, vessel clear.
Okay guys, so this is going to be awesome. I love actually there how they like actually made it kind of like educational. Like that was like how they would do it. I presume these aren't actors and these are real Royal Marines in this. But I think sometimes you watch these, especially if it's like a movie and it's like all dramatic, like, oh, pin the guy down, or like blood going everywhere. That seemed like actually him shouting like, walk to me, walk to me, walk to me. It was like training that they would go through. So I'm hoping the rest of it's going to be like this, because I like that it's actually cinematography. It's amazing, and it also kind of has the real steel version of it as well as kind of being entertaining.
J3 gathered from recent maritime interdiction ops points to the location of a captured British national. 3 hostile anti-aircraft systems have been identified, providing coverage for the target. We've also identified a buildup of ammunition and equipment, likely prepping for a larger operation. 2 days ago, Sniper Pair 10 were covertly inserted to provide overwatch and reconnaissance of the AO. Overwatch has confirmed the radar is back online and operational. This, combined with the increase in enemy hardware, indicates imminent hostile intent. 20 and 30 will insert via raiding craft at last light, landing at Black Beach. At 0500, 2 F-35s will strike the enemy weapons depot. In order to enable this, 30 will neutralise one of the missile systems, clearing a corridor for those F-35s. Concurrently, 20 will move to secure the British hostage at the radar station. All call signs will exfil before first light.
Yeah, so again, they've given like context to the mission, kind of again like a video game, you know, like, or real life, but actually being able to see what that is and not just cool shots. Oh, sniper.
Charlie 1, enter.
So I didn't see what the weapon was there. L115A3. I have no idea what that is, but I presume it's like the L85, so that kind of platform. I can look that up after this, but that sniper camouflage is amazing.
Charlie 1, entered left of arc. Charlie 1 has stopped at the radar. UKM 1 exiting Charlie 1. UKM 1 and UKM 2 meet in the middle of arc. UKM 3 on the top of radar, acting as sentry position. Roger so far. Roger so far.
Just look at that. It's fucking so cool. Actually, one thing actually on that as well is when I competed in Pringle, they had a really cool stage that we had to do. It was like different stages that you had to do, and you would basically compete against other units and the cadets. One of them was camouflage, and so they basically would get a ton of us. There were like 7 or 8 of us. We would have to like camo up, and that was something we trained in, is like how you do your face camo, how you do, you know, like disguising the actual outline of your head and shoulders was a big one. It's like these round and kind of like shapes that have got solid lines just don't really exist in nature. So breaking that up with different foliage, etc., was a big one. And so they would send us out into this area, and then they would have like sniper spotters from the real Royal Marines who would stand there and then try and pick us out and send one of their guys on a radio to come say, right, they've seen you, here's where you are. So it was almost like a who can stay in there the longest, which was absolutely awesome. But that just reminds me of that.
0, this is 10 Alpha. You are green on Bravo.
Over.
10 Alpha, 0, Roger, green on Bravo. Blackout, blackout, blackout. F-35 on station, 05 mics.
ETA, 2 mics out.
Why is that aircraft taking off with that in the air? I presume that's not how an F-35 takes off, because that looked aerodynamic. Maybe it gives it some like backdraft to take off, like faster off an aircraft carrier. But that to me looks like the least aerodynamic thing that you would ever have. Can't imagine they've got that wrong, I guess.
Prepare to beach.
That doesn't look like the SIG MCX to me. That looks like the Knights Armament, like URGI that they've got for the standard forces. That's they're now going to replace the L85 because it's a lot thinner handrail. I could be wrong again, but that to me is what that looks like. I don't know if you agree. I love this as well. Like different missions, secure the hostage, and one's going to go and destroy the anti-aircraft, offshore raiding craft.
Alpha 0, this is 2-0. Let's report line castle. Over.
2-0.
This is 0. Acknowledged. Be aware.
Increased enemy activity in your AO.
You now have 15 mics. Over.
Prepare to move.
Night vision.
Zero. This is 1-0 Alpha. I have eyes on central position, requesting permission to engage.
Over.
1-0 Alpha, you are clear to engage.
Over.
Range 400 meters. Deflection 1.2 left.
And spotter.
Range 400 meters. Deflection 1.2 left. Aiming point high center chest. Wait for my call.
Like that as well. They're going through all of the like actually how it would go. I think so. Again, like if you're thinking about joining the Marines, go and join the Royal Marines, become a commando. But like actually giving you what it's like as opposed to just, oh, I'm going to take the shot. Oh, wow. You know, like kind of like shouting and screaming bravado. I think that's really, really pretty cool. Also, like repeating things twice just so someone's heard it. Again, that's something that's probably not great on camera compared to just saying something once, but I like how they've done that.
Hold. Fire.
Sentry down. 2-0 moving to objective. Over.
Also, they didn't show that that person was shot. That's again kind of cool. I like that actually it's about, you know, what they're doing as opposed to, oh, look, you know, you shot someone, they're falling down. Look how good they are.
Send sit rep.
Over.
0, this is 3-0.
Charges set. Moving to extract.
Over.
Roger. Out.
So they've set charges on the anti-aircraft. These are the guys going for the hostage, presumably. Ching. Yeah, it doesn't look like a SIG MCX, which I were using. It's definitely that Knight's armament. That's the right sight for it as well. Bang. See, they've got the little micro red dot on top of the actual LPVO sight. Love that. Gives you chills, this.
Zero, this is 2-0. Hostage secure. Over.
2-0, this is 0. Roger.
Be advised, enemy approaching your position. Move to FRV immediately.
Jedi 1-1, this will be a tactically controlled bomber target. Please pay way forward from each aircraft.
Yeah, like our entrance, like where he kept the actual rifle back and then went and presented it. Again, like I think that's very, again, I'm not the forces, but I've never been the forces, but that's very realistic. Where actually, when you're coming into a room, you want to keep that distance as short as possible between you and not present a barrel over the threshold before you go in there. So actually showing that was awesome, and then actually how they spread across the room, covered all angles. Yeah.
Elevation 8-3 to the MSL. Target is a weapons cache. Target location
30 uniform, X-ray.
Foxtrot 150093. Type mark nil. Friendly to south 2.3 kilometers. Egress to
Bravo 5. Coordinate marks.
restrictions. Fire attack heading will be 090 plus or minus 30. Best weapon effect. Reciprocals also available. Jedi 1-1 read back.
Jedi 1-1 reads back as far attack killing. 090 plus or minus 30. Reciprocal also available.
Jedi 1-1 clear hot.
Jedi 1-1 away.
4,
3,
2,
1.
Jedi 1-1 splash, standby BDA. Jedi 1-1 as a minute 04, that is ground force commands intent met, mission successful, weapons case destroyed, compile the egress.
Helo extraction. I see you by land. Okay, guys, that was awesome. I really liked that. I don't know if you agree, but that I think was absolutely one of the coolest things ever. Like, what I like there is they obviously haven't used actors. I've got people that I know and friends and stuff. They'll go and see a movie and it's so cool and so dramatic, but they just start picking holes in, like, that's not how you would actually, enter a room. That's not how you would carry a weapon. That's not how you do whatever. That was just like, I mean, I hope they do a lot more of these, because I think that as like a recruiting tool, actually kind of giving someone like a kind of 10-minute, this is what it's like, I'm sure, and from my experience with it, that is not your everyday in the Marines. Like, that is, you're doing drills, you're doing parade, you're doing different things, keeping everything very clean, fitness. Obviously if you're on mission, that might be what I like, or in some kind of immersive exercise. But like if I was young now and I was like, okay, I want to join the Marines, that would have had a real effect on me. So guys, if you want to go and check them out, go and have a look. Hold on, let's see if I can just do this. This is the Royal Marines Royal Marines YouTube channel. I'll put a URL to this actual video below, and then I'll also put a URL to the actual channel, so you can go and have a look at that. But I think that was really cool. I'd love to get your guys' thoughts on it. There's another one there. That was 2 years ago, 1 million views. So there's a couple here that I'm definitely going to go and have a look at. But also let me know, like, if you really liked me doing this as opposed to just airsoft kind of content. I'd love to know that as well, because I think that was really cool. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and as I said, I'll put the links down below. Have a great day wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.